Okay, two quick things. Number one, I'm wearing the Sophia Nygaard 3 Crusty Moon shirt, but the chroma key is considering this to be green. It's this is actually blue. It's like light blue, so I don't understand why it thinks it's green. Well, I guess it's like aquamarine. But anyway, yeah, it's keying out these parts here, so just get used to it. It's just going to be happening. And then secondly, in last week's video, I talked about being on the Fine Brothers Entertainment live stream from VidCon. So today, which is, what is it, August 9th, that video actually went up on the Fine Brothers Entertainment live YouTube channel, and I will link to down below where I actually get on the stream. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out. I think I will be going over that in next week's video, which will add a 5th video to my VidCon coverage. Wow. That's a honkin' lot. Anyway, that covers everything I wanted to talk about at the beginning, so roll the thing. Hey guys, Sean here. So if you were to ask me who is my favorite YouTuber, that would be kind of a tough question to answer because I like so many different types of YouTubers, be they comedy people or music people or gaming people or infotainment people. That's a word, right? But longtime viewers of this channel will know that there's one person from YouTube that I probably hold above all else. But she's basically transcended YouTube at this point. I don't necessarily consider her so much a YouTuber anymore, as she is just an international music star. And that person is Lindsey Stirling. Now, if you don't know who Lindsey Stirling is, why are you watching me? We don't have anything in common. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's okay if you don't know who Lindsey Stirling is, because I'm about to tell you. So Lindsey Stirling is a violinist, but she's not just a violinist. She's a dancing violinist, which is two words that generally don't go together. And she also makes electronic music. She's an electronic dancing violinist. She's probably the only one in the world. Although there might be more by this point. She's the original, that's for sure. She's the first electronic dancing violinist. But there may be more, but I'm sure that she is their inspiration. Anyway, if you want to know more about Lindsey Stirling, I've done a few videos about her. So here I'm pointing up, there's some cards up here that'll pop up. You can click on them, go to other videos about Lindsey Stirling. I believe I have done at least 3 before. So this will be the 4th one, possibly. I'm going to have to check, and I'm giving enough time for any cards to pop. There'll also be links in the doobly-doo, the same links that are up here if you can't get cards. So this is an awkward motion. So I was just sitting here trying to figure out how many times have I seen Lindsey Stirling in concert at this point. And I went back to the very first video that I made about her, which was it released on August 14th, 2016, which is almost 3 years ago to the day that I am recording this. And that video was about the first time I did a meet and greet with her, which was at the OC Fair in 2016. And that concert was actually the 3rd time I had seen her. Because I saw her originally at the Anaheim Grove in 2014, and then at the Greek Theater, which is a huge theater in Hollywood, in 2015, then OC Fair in 2016. Then in Oregon, when I was visiting my friend in October of 2016, then in November of 2016, I saw her in Hollywood at the Kodak Theater, which is where they do the Oscars. And then in 2017, at the Microsoft Theater for the Warmer and Winter tour, and I did a meet and greet there. And then last year at the whatever theater it was, or outdoor venue down in Orange County for the Lindsey Stirling Evanescence experience, which was the greatest concert I've ever gone to and probably ever will. And there was a meet and greet for that too. So that was 7 that I could remember. There may be one more in 2017 that I can't remember, because the Warmer and Winter one was in December of 2017. So I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't one earlier in the year in 2017. But anyway, cut to this last Wednesday, and again, the OC Fair. Almost 3 years to the day after meeting her for the first time at the OC Fair, I went and saw her again at the OC Fair, and we did another meet and greet. So it was kind of odd to be doing another meet and greet at the OC Fair, since this was the first time that I did it in 3 years ago in the video, the first video that I linked to down below. And there was lining up on the same stairs and everything, and I don't know, this time it was slightly more different for some reason, just because it's been 3 years. We've all grown since then. We've just all been through so much in that time. Well, I don't know that I have, but anyway, so we lined up. There was only like 20 of us this time. This was probably the smallest meet and greet group that I've been in out of the... This would be the 4th one that I've done. Out of the 4 that I've done, this was the smallest group, probably by at least 10 people. So it got to my turn. I went up and said hi. She said, "It's good to see you." I don't know if that means that she remembered that she's met me 4 times before, one of which wasn't an official meet and greet. But if you want to know about that, you can watch the second video below that is linked. The one that is like a Make-A-Wish, it's titled. But at least that's better than last time when at the Evanescence concert, because at the Evanescence concert she was like, "It's nice to meet you," and in the back of my head I was like, this is actually the 4th time you've met me, but I don't expect you to remember me. So this time they didn't have the professional photographer like they did the last 2 times. Yeah, they had a professional photographer that would take the picture, and then they'd throw up the pictures later on a website, and then you could download it from there. This time you give your camera to her tour manager, actually, Eric, who shows up in a lot of her videos, well, not her music videos, her tour videos, and he took the pictures from your phone. And so as I went up, I asked her, I had a question to ask her, because so there's this show on Netflix called Umbrella Academy, and I think it's the first episode, like the first scene of the first episode, there is a character who is playing a Phantom of the Opera medley on the violin, and it's actually her medley. It's literally the audio of her medley that she recorded 5 or 6 years ago. And when she saw this, she posted an Instagram video, and she was like, "Well, I didn't know this was happening. Well, wow, thank you for using my song. Well, thank you for using my arrangement of this song," because obviously she didn't write the Phantom of the Opera, because Andrew Lloyd Webber wrote the Phantom of the... But the arrangement that they used was her arrangement. And it seemed like she didn't know that was going to happen. And that kind of sparked a little bit of debate online of, so wait, did the Umbrella Academy steal her song? Because that seems pretty crappy, especially considering Umbrella Academy is based on a comic book that is written by Gerard Way, who is a well-known musician. So when I got up to her, I asked, I just have to know, the Umbrella Academy thing, did you not know about that? Or did no one in your camp know about that? And she was like, "Oh, yeah, no, it's... I'm pretty sure someone had mentioned it, and then I just completely forgot about it. And then, yeah, when it happened, then I was like, oh, yeah, And then I was like, so someone in your camp at least knew that and she was like, oh yeah, no, they didn't take it or anything. And so it was like, oh, okay, that's good to hear, because I would hate for her song to be stolen like that, especially by another well-known musician. So then we took the picture. Here it is. Here's the picture. This is a good one. I like this one. The one from last year I didn't necessarily like because I was making a dumb face, which I believe I talk about in the video for that. That's the third video down below listed. And then, since I saw that Kit, her keyboard player, and Drew, her drummer, who's been her drummer since she started performing live, they are always standing off to the side. And I think part of the reason that they do that is just in case anyone is like, can I get a picture with all of you? And no one ever does it, because I don't know why. And so I'm like, can I get a picture with Kit and Drew in as well? And she was like, oh, and she got all excited and called them over, and she was like, oh, the time you've been waiting for is finally happening. And I had met them at the Warmer and Winter show, which is the second one below, and talked to them because they, well, if you go to watch that video, you'll see the what happened that day, where I ended up meeting them earlier in the day before the concert. And it's a whole big thing. So to me, they're just as special as she is, because they're her band. Like, her band is literally just her and the two of them. So it was a big deal. I mean, she also has the 4 dancers, so they're a big deal as well. But anyway, they seemed very excited. Here's that picture of the 4 of us. Kit is on the left, he's the keyboardist, and Drew is on my right. He is the drummer, who has been her drummer for, as I said, since she started. So 7 years he's been her drummer. So then after that, we went into the actual venue. I think it's the Pacific Amphitheater at the OC Fair, and we all sat in the first 2 rows, and she answered some more questions, and then they played an acoustic version of Something Wild, which is the song that she co-wrote for the remake of Pete's Dragon that came out a few years ago. And then after that, we were able to go to the merchandise booth if we wanted to buy anything. I didn't necessarily want to buy any merchandise, so then I just went out and waited for, I think, 30 minutes until it was time to go back in and go, because then the doors opened for the actual concert. Now, the opening act was ZZ Ward. ZZ Ward is a singer and guitar player and harmonica player, and she is known to Lindsey Stirling fans for a reason that we will get to in a little bit. And I hadn't seen her perform just as herself, just as her band before, so that was nice. And then that went for about 30 minutes or so, and then there was a little bit of a intermission, and then the Lindsey Stirling show started. And this, of all of them that I've seen, except for the very first one, was the most stripped down Lindsey Stirling show I've ever seen. There was literally just Drew and his drum set, and Kit and his keyboards and guitar, and then there was a little platform kind of in the middle, and a screen, and that was it. Now, the first time I saw her, I don't think there was a screen at all, or a platform at all, but that was like her first tour. So, but every time since then, it's got bigger and bigger. There's whole bunches of screens and lights and all sorts of crazy stuff, all props and everything. But yeah, this was very stripped down, and a main reason for that is that this show was, I guess it's kind of a special OC Fair show, because it's not part of her actual tour yet. Well, no, I guess it is part of her actual tour. So here's the thing. She has a new album coming out on December 9th called Artemis, and she's been slowly releasing singles from that album. Like, she's released 2 so far from that album. And so when that comes out, then there will be a just brand new, from the ground up, just amazing stage show extravaganza that will that will then tour the world. But this show was just kind of the in between. The here's the greatest hits. Here's the things you like. Here's the what have yous. In fact, here's a picture of the set list that someone took a picture of and posted on Twitter. And so the thing about this set list is, if you go through a majority of it up to Underground. Now, Underground is the first new song that she released from the new album, like last week. And then Guardian, if you see there, that's a song that she hasn't released at all. And she hadn't played it for anyone yet. So it was actually, we were the first people to hear it outside of people involved with the song. So that was really awesome. So here, as I'm talking for the rest of the video about it, I will just throw up some random videos here and there from the show itself. I generally, I will, if I do record during a concert, I will only do it in 15-second snippets. I don't want to be one of those people that films an entire song, because that's not the point of being at a concert. I only do it just for these videos. I mean, one of the concerts that I went to, there was a girl who was there who said that her entire YouTube channel is just, she records full concerts and throws them up for her fans, because it's for the fans who couldn't go to the show, so I'm doing a service for them. And it's like, you're really not. You're, because you'll notice that these videos that I'm throwing up here, I don't have the audio on them because phones cannot pick up the sound of concerts very well, because the sound of concerts are very loud and the microphones on phones are very sensitive, so they are not good recording devices for concerts. Also, I believe that's illegal. I think I'm pretty sure that's against the law to do that, and I'm surprised that her channel hasn't been taken down yet. But I do not consider her to be the most egregious concert filmer. The most egregious concert filmer title goes for anyone who records a concert using an iPad, and I see it at every single concert. There's at least one person, usually pretty close to the front, that is holding up a freaking iPad and recording. Don't do that. First off, why do you have an iPad at a concert? Why? Why do you have... it's just... Here, I believe in one of these videos, you can even see... It's hard to see because how far I am from the person, but you can see it. They're recording right there with an iPad. And it's like... why are you doing... You're never going to watch that. And when you do, you're going to be like, oh wow, this sounds like crap. Why did I do this? Why did I watch this amazing show through the screen on my freaking iPad? I mean, when I'm shooting these videos, I'm holding the phone down here and not looking at it, because I'm still watching the show. And it's all, as I said, it's only for 15 seconds, because that's not how I want to experience the show. I just do it for these videos. And honestly, it took me... I went to at least 3 concerts before I even did that. And I feel a little dirty every time I do it too, to be fully honest. But it makes for good content, I guess. So I do it for that reason. But I will never record a full song. That's ridiculous. I should probably go back and watch the other videos that I've done now, because in the last video, in the Lindsey Stirling Evanescence concert video, I very well could have actually recorded a large portion of a song. now that I'm saying this, I don't think I did, but there is a strong likelihood that I actually did. Well, probably not a large portion, but anyway, I digress. Anyway, going back to the set list here, if you see in the sort of middle there's the song Hold My Heart. That is one of the few Lindsey Stirling songs that has vocals on it, and the vocalist on that song is ZZ Ward, thus bringing her back like I said it would. So she did come out for this song and sing the part that she did on the album. So that is why she is known amongst Lindsey Stirling fans. So overall, it was a great concert. It wasn't the best Lindsey Stirling concert I've ever gone to, because that will probably forever be the Evanescence one, just because, yeah, that one's hard to top. Just because they had an orchestra for everything, and Evanescence was there too, so that was amazing. But the things that she showed as far as visuals for the new song, well, for the two new songs, like the visuals on the video screen, this new tour, when she finally gets it all done and everything, and it comes around, this will probably be pretty spectacular, because she's always comes up with really crazy, innovative things for her shows. Oh yeah, and another thing that she always does in all of her shows is she always does have moments in between some of the songs where she will talk, essentially preach. So she does preach every now and then about angels and what have you, and believing in yourself and all that sort of stuff. And so this was the first time where I actually filmed that, where she's not playing, she's just talking to the audience, and that's always a part of it. So you gotta represent that part too. So it reached the end of the night. She did we're gonna do one more song for you, and she played that, and then of course that was the no band when they say we're gonna do one more song has ever done that. That's just a setup for the encore. That's how concerts work. And so they came back out and they did Beyond the Veil, and then they went into the Phantom Medley, which is, of all the concerts I've gone to, I would say that it's probably 50-50 split between what the encore song is. It's usually either Round Table Rival or the Phantom Medley. And Round Table Rival was kind of in the middle this time, so it was the Phantom Medley this time. But it's always between those two. Probably the fact that it was in Umbrella Academy and kind of got a nice little surgence. That's probably why she made the Phantom Medley the encore song this time. So overall, of course, glad I went. Always glad. Love going to Lindsey Stirling concerts. Now here's the thing. It is currently August 9th. August 26th is my birthday. August 27th, she's performing at the Roxy in Hollywood. The Roxy is a well-known club in Hollywood, and it is a very small venue. This would be probably the most intimate show that you could potentially see Lindsey Stirling at in any capacity in the near future. I would really like to go to the show. However, I am not going to for, I'm going to say 3 reasons. Number 1, I am currently in the midst of the busiest time of year at work. So it's semi-difficult for me to get the 26th off, which I'm taking off as it is. So taking the 27th off as well would be extremely difficult. I mean, I could work half the day and then go, but just dealing with getting to downtown Hollywood, is that even a thing? Does Hollywood have a downtown? I don't think Hollywood even has a downtown, because it's not really... Anyway, dealing with all that, I would want to take the whole day off. I said there were 3 reasons, but I cannot remember what the third was. So the first was getting the time off to actually go would be pretty difficult, especially considering I'll be taking the day before off for my birthday. And then the other reason is the Roxy is very small, and there is no seating as far as I know. It is standing room only, and I just cannot do that at my soon-to-be advanced age. I'm getting a slight anxiety attack just even thinking about that. I can't fully remember the last time I went to a concert where there was standing room only and no seating. I think it was the Apocalyptica concert at the House of Blues in Anaheim. And so that was over 10 years ago, because that was when I was living in Anaheim. So the likelihood of me going to that concert is pretty slim. Now, I can't say I 100% won't go, because the show at the Kodak Theater in 2016, I literally bought a ticket for that show about 2 hours before it. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go. Let's do this. 3 times in 4 months. Let's go. So who knows? Last minute, I might change my mind. But as it stands right now, most likely not gonna happen. Especially because we gotta save up and wait for the next big show. I mean, here's the thing. I know that this show at the Roxy, it's not gonna be the same as the one that I just saw, because none of her concerts are the same. Like I said, in 2016, I saw her 3 times in 4 months. All 3 of those shows were completely different, and I don't understand how. I mean, yes, I sort of understand how, because the first one was the tail end of an album tour. The middle one was just kind of a, we have something going on. And then the other one was like the beginning of another album tour, I think. I don't know. I don't fully remember. It was 3 years ago, and as I was saying, I am old. Was it 3 years ago? Yeah, it was 3 years ago. Maybe? I don't know. I don't fully remember all these things. They're all kind of blending together at this point. But in a good way. I'm happy that they are. Anyway, just consider me a deadhead, except for Lindsey Stirling, instead of the Grateful Dead. If you don't know, the Grateful Dead, they have deadheads. Those are fans that will literally follow them across the country and go to all the shows along the way. Like, they travel behind their bus. And so consider me kind of like that, except not as diehard as that, but semi-diehard. By no means the biggest Lindsey Stirling fan. There was a girl who was dressed in costume, and actually the set list picture, I got it from her Twitter, and literally, like, every tweet that she has posted since then has just been about Lindsey Stirling. So, yeah, there's bigger fans. There will always be bigger fans. I will never be the biggest fan of anybody, because to be the biggest fan of someone, you have to be semi-psychotic. I'm not saying this girl is semi-psychotic. I'm not saying that at all. By no means is she the biggest fan of Lindsey Stirling, but she's a bigger fan of Lindsey Stirling than I am. But she's not the biggest, because the biggest is a scary person. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week's video. Let me know in the comments down below, do you have a favorite musical artist? And how many times have you seen said musical artist? And have you ever met them? And are they everything you could ever hope or imagine that they would be? And have you met them multiple times? And did they remember you? And I don't know, anything else? Talk about it down below in the comments. That's what it's for. Also, feel free to tell me how to advertise this channel so I can actually get people to come and watch these videos. I should probably post this video in the Lindsey Stirling subreddit. That would probably be a good idea. Although then those people would come and watch this video and maybe get all angry at me because they're bigger fans. I don't know. Hey, if you're here from the Lindsey Stirling subreddit, welcome. I have other videos that are entertaining to watch. They're not all about Lindsey Stirling, just 4 of them over the last 3 years. I mean, there's 163 at this point, though, so that's a pretty small percentage. That's not that big a percentage. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point, so I should really close out this video, especially because I need to edit it and get it uploaded tonight, so I have to work tomorrow. Because as I was saying, I'm busy crunch time at my job. I'm not even talking to anybody now. I'm just looking at other screens for my computer and just looking at them and talking to them instead of the camera. That's the level I've reached at this point. So yeah, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, and if you'd like to see more of the crazy crap that goes on around here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to help support the crazy crap that goes on around here, go ahead and hit up my Patreon. Link is in the description. And with that, have a good however long it is until you watch my next video.